Yo, 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 what's good, man? We got a special guest in the building today. For the people who deaf, dumb, crazy, blind, under a rock, let them know who we got in front of the camera today.
Mr. Dorrough, Dorrough Music 6'3".
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate you pulling up on us today and letting us conduct this interview with you.
Nah, for sure.
Now, you definitely like a legend, Dallas legend. First of all, I want to give you your flowers for, paving the way for a lot of artists. You broke a lot of barriers when you came in the game. And we seen something we never seen before when you was out here doing what you did. You know what I'm saying? So first of all, how I feel to be here in 2023, still moving and grooving in the music industry.
Man, it feel good. When I started, rapping, I never intended to really ever stop. Once I jumped into it, I realized that this is what I'm gonna do and this is what I am. So 2023 is just another measurement to that.
Yeah, nah, for sure, bro. Now I kind of want to take it back to the beginning with you, because it's like you one of them guys that I feel like you really kicked down the door when you came in the game, like the rap game. That's unheard of for Dallas. Like you like one of the ones that really went far when you got in.
Yeah.
So like, how did you even get your start in rapping? Like, what made you want to be a rapper, and how did you get here today?
So for me, I fell in love with rapping through the Texas scene, you feel me? Like, I always liked the music, you know what I'm saying? Growing up listening to like Tupac, Bone Thugs, them like the people who really just got me listening to music and rap. But the Texas movement is what made me want to rap, like actually get into it. So when you had people come on the scene like Lil Flip and Swisher House movement,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying, which inspired like the DSR movement, you feel me?
Right.
That's when I really started being like, I want to do this for real. Like I want to actually jump off the porch and do it. I think for me, when I saw DSR, how the success they have, or really when it came out, because I was seeing them members, like people like Tum Tum and different members, I used to see them everywhere, just in real life. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's kind of like when something hits your backyard, it's different from seeing it on TV and hearing it on the radio and then seeing it in real life.
Yeah.
When I saw it in real life with people that I actually knew and I was like hanging out with like my big bros and shit, that's when I know it was real and obtainable. So that's when I jumped off the porch.
Nah, for sure. Now you bring up people like DSR, like definitely Texas legends, Dallas legends too. Do you feel like they got they just due with where they went in their career? Because I feel like it's just a different time. We didn't have social media to see like what they was doing in the city. And me being not from Dallas, I really don't know they impact when they was, moving and grooving in the city. So can you give us some insight?
If DSR, like, let's just say this was social media was like it was when they was breaking out, they'll be just as big as the biggest social media stars now. By far, yeah, for sure. They hit a real movement. For me, like when you're talking about just their whole movement, they broke a lot of barriers before I broke barriers. You get what I'm saying? So it's like they broke barriers that helped me come and break barriers. And I saw it in real time. I was in high school, so I was kind of like a part of me and the people who I was rocking with. We was kind of breaking DSR. We was in the schools, I played ball. I was real popular for ball. The people I hung with was like, amongst the city and the sports world, we was big. So we held weight. So we used to go to a lot of parties, a lot of places all around the DFW, and we was pushing DSR because we just resonated with it. We liked I personally liked all the animated lines, just the energy, and it was fun. So I feel like
it was a different time then, man.
It was a different time, but it really was. Well, it was a different time, but it's still, like I say, if social media was like it was then, when they was doing it, they'll be just like anything. I'm trying to think of a group what's a group that's popping right now, just as a movement. You get what I'm saying?
It ain't been no groups like that.
Ain't been no groups like that. But even individually though, you had Tum Tum, till they all had their own little movement. So when you're talking about I'm trying to think, because you're right, there ain't really no groups like that, but it would have been a talking points like that. They was really influencing what was going on in the city and the whole South. Right. And then social media would just amplify that. So yeah, bro.
Do you feel like, because right now I feel like music is not as fun as it used to be, because like it's not outlet for kids to really enjoy music like they used to. Like you said, you was going around going to parties. They had teen clubs here at the time, stuff like that. Yeah. That's it's gone now. These kids really outside doing other things. They're not really enjoying like being kids.
Facts.
Do you feel like that really kind of like slow down the breaking the music, making it harder? Because I like you said, man, them parts, like you said, you was in high school listening to DSR. I was in high school when Ice Cream Paint Job came out, so I seen like how that affected like people dancing to it, and we was playing it at our parties. So you know, like, what you think about that?
I think, man, I think everything have his time, but like, it's crazy you mentioned that because we were just talking about, off the camera, we were just talking about Louisville, Kentucky, you know, a show I did.
Right.
So the show that they did, it was kind of like, they had me, they had brought Jock, they had brought, like, they kind of did like a throwback, but it was all new and younger fans. But this was the first show I'd been to in a long time where I really was just in the VIP, and I'm looking and I'm like, damn, they out there having fun. You feel me? Like, I've been doing shows since forever, and even recently. So it's like I'm starting to see that energy actually start coming back. But you're right, like during that time, you had different type of outlets. You had teen clubs. You had everybody was doing house parties. Everybody was doing even the clubs. It was just a different type of energy, and that made the music spread a different kind of way. So it was more fun, yeah, for sure. You know, but I'm starting to see like it's kind of getting back to that. I think we're in the early stages of what's for to come, and that's for to be that type of energy again. Yeah.
Now, bro, like, I gotta commend you for being actually like a good rapper. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got, like, when you rap, like, you got some songs, I'm like, bro really rapping on here. Like, a while back, like, I ain't even know about this song. You probably like trip out when I say it, but I was like, damn, this nigga really on this hoe though. Like, and it's a sex song. Sex Room 101.
That was PV. Yeah, that's when we was dropping the mixtape 6 Ed 101.
Yeah, nah, that's one of the ones, bro. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I took something down, a few to that song.
Yeah, nah, like it was a time where, see, I came up as a mixtape rapper. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was a time where I was just a straight mixtape rapper. Okay. And that's how I got on. I got popping like amongst the people I got popping at, and back because I really got popping at PV. You get what I'm saying? And I was known as a mixtape rapper, just like. But I would come back to Dallas, and I was that type of rapper. I didn't know how to. I didn't sit back and start doing singles until like, I remember being at PV and I was able to sell mixtapes. You get what I'm saying? I've been selling mixtapes since high school, so I came out with that mentality. Like I said, I was influenced by the Swisher Houses, the Lil Flips, and the DSRs when I started, and that's what the game was. You was a mixtape rapper, so you basically had to rap. But then in the midst of that, when I got the PV, it was kind of transferring to like dance music and kind of more fun music. And I remember being popping for the mixtapes and selling mixtapes and having a lot of people knowing me for the mixtapes. But I really wasn't, I was just making money from the actual selling the mixtapes. I wasn't getting paid shows yet. And I remember it was a event that they started having at PV where like they would have rappers come out and do shows, and like this was when like LaShawn was out with the Check Out My Lane, the Will was out with My Dougie, Fat Pimp was out with Rack Daddy, and they was coming. And from my perspective, like I didn't know who they was, but I knew the songs. You get what I'm saying? And they was hard ass records. But I was like, how I felt at that time, I was like, damn, I got all these mixtapes popping. I'm selling a lot of mixtapes. Everybody fucking with me, but I ain't getting no paid shows. And these niggas coming doing paid shows off one song. You know what I'm saying? That's how I was taking it then. So then I remember I had a DJ. I had DJ Merck and Q Smith, who still be producing.
Shout out Q Smith.
Yeah, Q Smith still doing a lot of my stuff. But I remember we sat down and I was trying to figure it out. They was like, man, you need to make singles. You get what I'm saying? And like I had to kind of open up to that mindset because I was a mixtape rapper and I felt like what I was doing, that should have been generating shows. But then I had to sit back and realize, when I started just observing like how people was at parties and this and that, I'm like, well, really, people really just want to have a good time for the most part, and especially at PV. So when they started coming down doing them shows, that's when I really sat back and was like, okay, I need to make a single, and then that's when I made Walk That Walk. Damn. You feel me? Like, I was at PV, I was kind of influenced by the sororities and stuff that was going on, and like I was like, okay, I need to make, because everything that was happening at PV was influencing everything. That was everything that was going on in Houston and Dallas. So I was like, if I get something popping here, and I knew what they liked, because shit, I was seeing it every day. So I was like, okay, I need to just make something like that, and I had never done that before. So when I did that, I made Walk That Walk, and then that's when I really as soon as I made Walk the Walk and learned how to make that record, that's when I started learning how to make singles. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of had to teach myself that. So yeah, to go back to your point, you know, in that time I was dropping a lot of mixtapes. So that 6 Ed 101, that was on like one of the mixtapes me and Murky used to do at PV. We used to drop like a mixtape every month. Damn. You know what I'm saying? And that was one of them, man. Yeah, they did used to fuck that record hard, but
man, I ain't gonna lie. Somebody I was like, damn, this Dorrough? Like that shit was hard. You know what I'm saying? Back then. But like you brought up PV and shout out to PV for sure.
Yeah.
Is PV what really breaks records in Texas? Like, do you need like to really get your record moving? Is that one market you definitely need to hit as an artist?
That back then, that was the only market you needed. You know, it was that influential. But I mean, really, all of them, because we was hitting. Like I would leave PV, I shoot every day. Like I was at PV, I would shoot the Houston, hit the clubs. I was hitting all the other HBCUs, TSU, all that. But PV just had like a special type of energy at that time. But I still say to this day though, like it's an influential part. It ain't the only thing you need, or it's definitely a market everybody should utilize. You know what I'm saying? If you're an artist or whatnot, that shouldn't be something you overlook even this day. It's just something about it's HBCUs in general, colleges in general, but especially HBCUs. But PV is just a special place. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think it always gonna hold that energy where, like, if you're an artist and you out there grinding, you make some shit pop out there, your shit gonna move.
Nah,
you know, because you got to think everybody in Texas, PV. It's a lot of people from Dallas, a lot of people from Houston, a lot of people from all the major cities in Texas and beyond, the regions, Louisiana, everything out. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of people from even Cali when I was out there, you know, that, you know, it held a lot of influence. So yeah, if you get something popping there, it's gonna spread for sure.
So Walk That Walk was your first big single ever?
That was my first single where, like, Dorrough got a single that they playing at parties in the clubs. You get what I'm saying? I was already known, like I say, for a mixtape rapper, so people knew who I was, but they wasn't used to hearing me at like parties and stuff like that. It would be something you get jam in they car, or I was a person they jam in their car, or they go back to their room and jam, you know what I'm saying, or to their crib, wherever they was at. But once I started, you know, getting into the parties and clubs, that's when it started changing on a whole nother level. And Walk That Walk was the first one that I made like that. It was at the same time when right after that we did Halle Berry, the original. So, you know, I started figuring out how to fucking make these records then at this point,
Nah, shit, Halle Berry did what it did. I seen your No Jumper interview, so I really don't want to go deep into it. Because I just recently interviewed Hurricane Chris as well.
Okay.
He shouted you out in the interview as well. Like, he explained his side of, you know, what happened.
Yeah.
But, man, that was a hell of a record too. Halle Berry danced to it on Ellen. Like, seeing that, like, I remember as a kid seeing that. Ellen was the biggest shit. You know what I'm saying? So like when you seen it, like, how did you feel about it?
When we seen that, at this time, this is when I think, around that time, this is when I was still hot about the situation. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, you know, everybody pretty much know the story, but like, it was a time where, because the record was already a hit record, what it ended up doing, it was gonna do regardless, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, I just remember how much work I put into that record. Like, when I had Walk That Walk and Halle Berry, this was a time where, in Dallas especially, but Houston and Dallas, this where I was in the clubs every night, Monday to Monday, breaking both of those records. Like, it wasn't a spot in Dallas that I was hitting 3, 4, 5 clubs a night. Damn. Whether they was popping or not, Dallas and Fort Worth every night. You know what I'm saying? Moving that record around. So it's like when the record got, you know, bought and kind of, you know, what happened, I just felt how I felt was like, nigga, I'm the one that did the groundwork for it. You get what I'm saying? For real. And everybody knew that. So, you know, when it spread like that, you know, in one way I was kind of hot, but, you know, I still was tapped into the paperwork. So I was still seeing like residuals. So, you know, at the same time, I still felt like,
you just want the recognition.
Really. Yeah. But, you know, but I got over that quick though. You know, this was at the time where it was still kind of like some tension between me and Hurricane Chris and all that. But, you know, we squashed that, you know, as we grew as artists, you feel me? We looked at the bigger picture.
Nah, for sure. And shit, like, I feel like hip hop is kind of transition from that though. It's like now people really feel like they got to have real problems with people. Instead of just doing business. You know what I'm saying? And I always hear good things about how you conduct business though. You know what I'm saying? Like, the way you conduct business precedes itself, because a lot of people speak highly of you, how you do your business. But all right, moving forward, bro, like you said, did the Ice Cream Paint Job come right after Halle Berry, or
Nah, Ice Cream Paint Job actually came later than what it probably perceived to be. Like a lot of people thought that was first. Well, the mainstream, not people in here in Texas or whatnot, but first it was Holly Beer and Walk That Walk for a minute. You get what I'm saying? That had me touring throughout the region. Matter of fact, I did my deal for Walk That Walk while I was at PV with E1 in New York, where they was called Koch Records at the time, but now they E1.
Right.
Well, now they Monarch, actually. They something different now. But anyway, yeah. That was popping for a minute. I would say probably like 2 years, because I think Walk That Walk, Holly Bell, like 2007. It got popping in 2008 strong, and then it was, them records was going up for a minute, like especially Walk That Walk. It was like a climb. It kept climbing. So it was like from 2007, and it probably didn't hit its peak to like the middle of 2009, like right as Ice Cream Paint Job was coming out. Like Ice Cream Paint Job came out 2009.
Right, that's my freshman year.
Yeah. So
sure.
it was like, for me, it was like 2 years of them songs moving first.
Damn.
Then Ice Cream Paint Job.
Let me ask you, bro, because like, do you feel like artists push records like that these days? Like pushing a record for a year or two, like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Is that part of the game still relevant?
Yeah, it is. Honestly, bro, like what I've learned, and at first it was a time where I felt like that wasn't relevant no more, but as I've come to learn that missing part is still the art of it. You get what I'm saying? Like that's the difference between a record sticking and not sticking. You get what I'm saying? Because it's like now, most artists don't even look at that as a thing. Like some artists don't even look at going to the clubs or fucking with the DJ like that. It's just straight streaming. You hit a playlist or do, go viral on TikTok or some shit like that, or a combination of both. But like that is something that's big and that's a wave, but that don't mean that the record gonna stick. You know what I'm saying? And when I say stick, I mean like forever. You know what I'm saying? Like when you make a song and you consider it a hit record, for you an artist, you wanna really tour off those records for the rest of your life. Like you want to make that shit last forever.
Right. Most
of the time, when you don't do them type of campaigns and that type of grind, it just don't connect the same way. So it's like right now, if you get on your phone and you get introduced to a song that you like off the internet, and then let's say you hear it, you start listening to it for a while, and then that's really the main way you connect with it. After a while, you'll probably disassociate with it.
No,
but
sure.
if you connect with it a certain type of way in real life, you go, everywhere you go, you hearing it, clubs, this and that. Then it's just a different thing. And then also it's the music itself. Like if it's, sometimes it depends on stuff you say in songs. You got to say stuff, and it's crazy because I start analyzing music differently now. So even when I go back and listen to songs like Ice Cream Paint Job, which I've been performing for years, but it's been like a long time since I sat and listened to it. So as it blow up like every month, like it's keep going viral, this and this and that. So I go back and listen to it. I'm like, okay, when I'm listening to what I actually said in the song, and everything I pretty much named in there was pretty much timeless stuff, And either I did a lot of name drops in that song. When I was doing it, I wasn't thinking like that. I was making something at the time and how I was feeling. But like, I name drop like people that are still legends to this day that's still active, like TV Johnny and Rick Ross. I think I said something about Nelly, and I just said a lot of names. I said something about Saved by the Bell in there. Stuff that ended up, cause once something become legendary, it lasts forever. But you can name stuff that's like temporary, and that can over time make shit die out. So let's just say if I was doing a song right now, and I was mentioning a lot of stuff that's relevant now, and those things ain't relevant 2 years from now, 3 years from now, when you go back and listen to that song, that type of stuff subconsciously make you disassociate with it. And that's how stuff don't be hits, you feel, or classics or whatnot. Sure. So now I start listening to a lot of stuff that I've been making, and I'll be like, okay, damn, that's why that shit's still sticking around, because the stuff in it is still relevant. You know what I'm saying? Even though when I was making the song, I wasn't thinking like, oh shit, I want this to be a classic, and 10 years from now I want this. No, I wasn't thinking like that, but so yeah, bro, it's just a lot of different ways to look at it. But to answer your question, yeah, that grind and all that stuff still relevant. Like artists that would do that now will win, you know what I'm saying? The same way artists would win back then, probably even bigger.
No, for
I
sure.
say do it all.
That's a lot of free game. I hope y'all paying attention, bro. Now,
for sure.
Bro, I want to bring up, because like I said, you a legend, bro. Like you did a lot of things that I never really seen you highlighted, and I'm a blogger, so and I actually love music. I seen it. Yeah. So like when you did that remix, bro, like the major remix, I can't think of the song right now, but I know you know what I'm talking about.
Or was it Get Big remix? Or
Get
what?
Big with it was Diddy on the remix.
Yeah, that's the Get Big one.
Get Big. Who I was on the remix one more time? I think Boosie was on the remix.
On that Get Big remix, it was Yo Gotti, Diddy, DJ Drama, Bombi, Shawty Low, Mano, Diamond. I feel like I'm missing somebody else.
I feel like it was a huge remix, bro. Like, and it took over 106 in Park. For a long time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's crazy because I had to put that remix out myself at that time. E1 at the time. So what happened was, like, I was always ahead of like what I was doing with the music. So E1 had gave me Get Big was big. They put a remix together, and when they would do their remixes, they would put whatever artists on E1 they would put on the remixes, whether them artists was big or hot or not, because they the way they looked at, like, if we put our budget, we're gonna blow up all our artists. But for me, I was just like, nah, my record bigger than that. I can go I got my own relationships. I can get my own remix. Yeah. And they had gave me a remix, and I low-key want to say the names on there, but some of these people I respect, so I ain't gonna put them out like that as if they wouldn't or they ain't, who they are. But it wasn't the type of remix that reflected the height of that record. Right. So then I hit Diddy up first. This was time when the All-Star Weekend or Super Bowl, one of them came to Dallas. Super Bowl weekend, Dallas. Whichever one, it was snowing. It snowed, Super Bowl. All right, whatever. Yeah, that's the one where, Diddy was out here and we connected. Like, he came and he was like, he reached out to the people in the city, to like find me. Cause, he knew about me, I guess, from just hearing them, and knew I was from Dallas. So I ended up meeting him. We chopped it up, went to the radio station, and then, I ended up connecting with him. So when I started doing the remix, I was like, man, I'm finna put together my own remix. I started hitting motherfuckers up, and then I shot Diddy a message. I was just like, hey, bro, my record like top 10 in the country. I want you to hop on it. I ain't expect nothing back, but I was just like, if I got the nigga number, why not? Shit. And bro hit me back and was like, send it to me. He heard it, and then he was just like, I'm gonna have this back to you tomorrow. And the next day he had hit me. He had me write a verse for him. I wrote a verse, and that shit was hard as fuck, but he didn't use it because at this time I'm young. I wasn't thinking that when I'm writing, I don't need to be thinking as me. Like, I need to be thinking how Diddy gonna sound on it. I wrote some shit that I would be hard for me to say. So he was like, the verse hard, but like it don't sound like me. So I think he ended up having like Red Cafe or somebody out of New York wrote the verse that he ended up using. You know what I'm saying? Because, he was always open about like, yeah, man, write for me this, and that. But he ended up coming on that whole hard. And then once I got Diddy on there, I just hit up everybody who I was already fucking with Gotti. We was already doing record, Bond and all them. So, I started getting everybody on there. And I ended up giving it to E1. I was like, this the remix I want to put out. And they got mad because they couldn't clear them artists. You feel me? Like, they didn't want to drop the bag to clear them. Yeah. In my mind, I'm just like, shit, they did the record for me, so they ain't for the trip. I just put it out. You know what I'm saying? No, I just put it out myself. I like, if it get cease and desist, I was like, who gonna actually, because Diddy, I know he wasn't gonna do it because how the conversation we had, it wouldn't have made sense for him to do all that just to cease and desist it. So in my mind, I'm just like, I'm gonna put it out. I put it out, went viral, it started going up. It never came down, but we wasn't selling it. So, you know what I'm saying? So, we used it at that way. So that was just a song. And then BET Awards was coming around the corner. So I went to Atlanta, BET Awards. Song was hot. It was all on the mixtapes. And then, this was mixtape era still, live mixtape, that pills. Right. So the song was going up. It just wasn't on the official platform where you can buy it. But I'm still getting shows off of it and everything. So I'm like, okay, that's better than what they was finna do. And then, same thing in Atlanta. I was just like, man, fuck it. I'm finna try and get this video shot. Everybody in Atlanta right now for the awards. Yeah. And I was just like, well, I might as well. If I can't get Diddy on this bitch, then you know what I'm saying, I'm just gonna shoot it with everybody else. I hit Diddy. I called him this time. He picked up the phone and everything. He was just like, what's up? What we got going on? Told him, like, I'm in the A, bro. I'm trying to get the video shot. This time I ain't got no direct. I ain't had nothing set up. You know what I'm saying? Because in my mind, I know I'm not going to get this video shot, even though everybody here, some award, everybody got shit to do. It's kind of hard to get people on one accord. So Diddy was just like, hey, if you want to get a shot, I'll pull up. As soon as he said that, like, I remember I hit this director up. His name was Rage. It was a dude that was like known for shooting these big videos. And I was telling him the scenario. He was like, man, you need to just get one spot. We'll do white screen. This is a place called, I think it's called Space Center, something out there in Atlanta we got one spot, and I mean, bro, text me right on because I had to pay him right there and get it all set up. So you know, I did it.
How much videos back then, man?
Bro, like, man, bro, I probably paid. I don't know how much I paid for that video. Whatever I paid for that video was probably double, but videos way more then. So
it was expensive.
You gonna at least like how you can get a video right now. You can get a cold video for $1,500, $2,500 now. You know sometimes you cheaper that. That's back then for that type of video, you at least starting off at 10,000, at least. Like, you know what I'm saying? And the way that video was, like, and what how we had to do it on the spot, like, bro, like, probably text me like times 3, 4. You know what I'm saying? I had to just drop out, but I was just like, if I'm gonna get this shit done, if Diddy gonna come through, nigga, it's gonna be worth it. Yeah. So, you know, Diddy came through, you know, everybody came up, everybody showed up, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because the record was moving, it was all on the. It made sense when I think about it, I was like, damn, the record was moving. That shit was all in the clubs.
Yeah, see, I never knew it wasn't a paid record. Like, how it was put out, it was a big record. Yeah, like big features.
I had to put that shit. That was the first record I really put out. That's what really made me go independent after the deal. You know what I'm saying? Because I really learned, like, damn, I could really do this shit myself. You know, but long story short, like, you know, we did that. Everybody showed up. The video went good. And then when I had it, you know, done, and I took it back to E1, they couldn't even believe I got that shit done. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't even have them type of, them niggas they couldn't even get to like Diddy and all them. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because they're a big label, but they ain't like, they wasn't Sony, Universal. You know what I'm saying? They were just like.
At that time.
Yeah. So, you know, I started bringing them stuff that was bigger than how they was moving. So, you know, same thing. I ended up putting that video out myself, you know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because I just officially put that record out on platforms last year in 2022 for it to be on official streaming and selling and all that. It just came out, you know what I'm saying? And I had to do that myself. But I learned then that, you know, that's how I learned how the independent game work. You feel me? You put your own money up, and it's a front end. It's hard on the front end, but the back end is worth it. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So
invest in yourself.
So when you speak on that record, it's bigger than just a record for me. That's a record that taught me a whole lot, and it was a big record. And it's when I learned that artists was really fucking with me and giving me respect. Because anytime you do, I ain't never paid for a feature in my life. You know what I'm saying? But so if motherfuckers giving you. You gotta have respect for an artist to do a free verse. Even for me, when I do a verse for an artist, it's because I respect that artist, either the grind or I love the song. Like it and then the short for the video, that's a whole nother thing. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, so love.
When
love.
So when I did all that off the strength, I mean, I had to pay the director and get that shit done. But when all the artists showed me love, that let me know, like, okay, motherfuckers really fucking with me in the game, you know what I'm saying? So I had a whole different perspective when that was done, you know what I'm saying? So when I think about Get Big and that remix and all that shit, it put me in the mindset like, okay, yeah, that's when I really like tapped into this shit for real, you know?
For sure.
Everything else, I was just so young, I was just going with the thing.
You just saying like the record, but like it was some big ass names on there. DJ Drama, Yo Gotti, Diddy. Like Diddy was like at that time. That's when you know he was doing, you know. But bro, it's crazy. But man, salutes for to even, you know, putting that together, bro. That was a dope record. Dope record. Yeah.
And shout out to World Star too, because they was rocking with me heavy at the time. So like, you know, they were just showing me crazy love. Cause I remember, man, I'll never forget, even at that Diddy had a party that night, and this one World Star was just now coming up, and like they had a crew of like 4 people.
Yeah. One second. Okay. I never knew that. Oh God.
Yeah, that shit wild. Speaking of Mano, like that nigga Mano was shooting his scene, and that nigga Mano was shooting his scene when Diddy showed up. When Diddy showed up, like even though Diddy was showing love, he had already told me, he was like, man, I gotta be in and out. You get what I'm saying? So like Mano showed love, because even though Mano a legend, was like, we had to stop that nigga scene while he was doing it so Diddy can come hop in, but he was cool about it though. You know, a lot of niggas be having egos, bro. Like I done seen a lot of ego trips in the industry, bro, like with some shit like that. So but Mano was a cool nigga. He knew that him being on the song and Diddy being on the song was gonna be big for everybody. You get what I'm talking about? Right. So I was appreciative that homie didn't trip, because I was like, damn, we gotta get this nigga right. He had just started shooting. We had to get that nigga off the scene real quick. Diddy hopped on, did his thing, and then burnt or whatnot. But yeah, bro, yeah, that song it's a story behind that song. You know what I'm talking about? And the whole thing, it happened. So yeah, that's what that was.
For sure. Now, like move forward. Like when did you kind of it's kind of like it went dark. You know what I'm saying? Like now it went dark. It's like you kind of stepped away from music. I would say, what year was that?
Yeah, it was actually no year I stepped away from music.
Really?
Never. Like from 2009 up into 2023, it been a whole lot of music that came out. What you're thinking of? So everything in life, but we're gonna talk about the industry. It's a light, and it's just like how you said the light or step. It's a light, or you said dark. It's like both of those sides. Right. So it's like when you jump off the if a label sign an artist right now, and when they put that artist out, that's the machine.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? When you go independent, you outside of the machine, but really you're just outside of what
their machine.
What's pushing in front of everybody's face, like boom. But like on the backside, that's when I really started jumping into the mixtape. So right after that is when I started doing. I ended up doing like 3 Gangsta Grills with DJ Drummer at that time. So that's when I started getting on my touring and my mixtapes. I got back to the mixtape game. Okay. You know, I started off as a mixtape rapper.
Right.
I started making singles, records, boom. That's what put me in the limelight, those singles.
Right.
I went back to the mixtape game. That's what, because I went independent. That's what got me the touring, the shows, and running the routes, and the actual the knowledge from the independent side. So I just kept dropping mixtapes and a lot of records that was resonating in different regions. After that, I had a huge record with DJ Mustard out in LA. I think that was like 2013. Then After Party record and the remix of that. Then we came back and did the Beat Up the Block with Boosie. So like when you get a record, those records, you're gonna tour off those records. See, that's what people don't know. I just did a record with Afro Man.
From the
we just put it out, a Lil Smoke record.
Okay.
You know, Afro Man got the Because I Got High record.
Right.
Bro, if you look at, first of all, right now you can go on his Spotify and see his numbers crazy, but bro been touring since that record came out at a high level. I done been to some shows that he done did out here and elsewhere, and they show. So the touring side is the side that people don't understand, that's the most important part of the game, and that's when you see artists. That's how our artists that got stuff going. When you make records and you do the back work, you're touring. Touring is where it's at, because you actually going out in front of the people. You know you moving. Because I didn't start going outside the country and stuff and doing shows after that until I took a mainstream light break. You know what I'm saying? So really, the mainstream, that's just the machine. That's what that's like somebody saying they got a favorite artist, but they are a favorite anything, but they dropping music right now. Most of the time people like what's pushed in front of them. They really not as fans as they say.
Yeah, not facts. Like people don't know what they want until you tell them what
exactly.
they want.
You know what I'm talking about? You know, exactly. So it's like that type of thing. So for me, it been a grind, a backside grind, front side grind. You need both of them. See what happened is when you go too mainstream and stay in the mainstream, like that's when you start like you don't have your character, who you are. Right. You know what I'm saying? And then you doing everything to stay in the light, and that's when you kind of get disassociated with a whole lot of other stuff. When everything is a balance. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got people like Erykah Badu is a perfect example. Erykah Badu, because she's from Dallas, Erykah Badu do some of the biggest tours in the world. Like she been touring since she came out. She ain't never not boom, but she has mainstream songs too. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Her touring is what made her Erykah Badu to this day. Like I'm pretty sure we can look up right now. Now social media, you see on social media, but it was a time where, you know, when her stuff wasn't on radio, it just was what it was. Yeah, her stuff was still big, but she ain't never stopped touring, and she only got bigger. If you tour, you get bigger over time. So it's like, I come back now and drop a project or a single now, it's gonna be way bigger because of the touring. Over the last years, it's the connection you've been making throughout the touring. Right. So, you know, to be a successful artist, longevity, and to be the real, you gotta play both sides of it successfully. You gotta play the back side and the front side. The front side is the mainstream side. That's when you pushed into the light, but you can't be in that light for too much without that's when you start, you know, getting people that's just disassociated. You get out of touch, get out of reality. Can't be in there too long. You gotta, it's a balance. You gotta boom. So with me, it's just been a back and forth thing, you know?
Nah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Now, when did you sign Young Nation?
That was 2012. That was 2011. It was somewhere in between 2010 and 2012, somewhere in that window.
Now, what made you want to sign them? What was about them that you wanted to get involved with the situation?
Man, Nation was just, how I got introduced to Nation was through Q Smith. Q Smith was always telling me, he was like, hey, it's these little niggas they in high school right now. They popping, bro. They got movement, this, and that. So Q Smith used to always put it in my ear. And then, you know what I'm saying, I kind of had started hearing about him, but it wasn't until he brought him, I was downtown. I remember I used to stay at the Mosaic. He brought him to my crib one day.
Yeah.
And just from the jump, like, I just thought them niggas was the funniest niggas, bro. Like, they were these two niggas in high school. They had their own lingo. You know what I'm saying? They had a certain type of energy. They came to my spot, you know what I'm saying? Q Smith introduced them to me, and then I had the studio set up. So, like, they got right in my studio, and then they were just, right from that day, they were just recording shit. And I learned they had a work ethic right then, and they could just fluidly make a lot of music, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, I bet. So, you know, they started staying there and everything, and then making a lot of music. Then I started saying that, okay, these niggas really, because at first I thought they were just a joke. Not a joke as far like but I just thought they were just some kids having fun. But then I started saying, like, these niggas really artists. Like, these niggas get in this bitch. Like, they got a whole thing that they do. Like, it's for real. And I was watching. I'm like, okay, these niggas got talent for real. Then I just took a liking to them, you know what I'm saying? They kind of came like little bros, and, you know, it just kind of, with the help of Q Smith and DJ Merck at the time, we was able to, you know what I'm saying, kind of take their brand to a whole nother level, what they was doing. But they were really just like little homies, man, you know, and I started admiring their artistry, like they real artists at the end of the day. And they had a real movement, you feel me? So it just made sense.
Nah, for sure. Now, Club Rock was a big record.
Yeah.
That record was under you, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So tell us about that.
Shit, that was one of the first records they recorded in my crib. Like, they came to my crib and they did like a couple mixtape records, and then I remember going to a show and coming back, and then they was in there, they was recording Club Rock, and then when they was recording it, I think they just did the hook. I was like, this a hit, nigga. I think I told Q Smith that or somebody. I was like, this a hit, bro. Like, I was downstairs. I had a 2-floor condo. I was downstairs and I was watching the game so I could hear them recording it. And then I remember turning down the TV. I was like, oh, these niggas making a hit right now. And they were just in there. They were just going. It was just how fluid it was. I was like, oh, these niggas for real. And then shit, nigga, as soon as they put it out, bro, like, it just went. You feel me?
Yeah.
And, you know, we took it to the clubs. We put it out on the internet. And it went, you know, and we just, you know, we put some bread behind it, and shit, they didn't upset, bro. They was really in there putting in records in real time, and they just had their own thing going on. Like, they brought a whole different energy to the game and to the city.
For sure, bro. And shit, I appreciate you, bro, because when it went from Thug Boss to Young Nation, like, it was like you had to be there, bro. It was just a time,
fact.
you know what I'm saying? I talk to Fame a lot. That's my guy.
Yeah.
And he always said, like, you know, because I just interviewed K Bezo as well, you know, and he was just saying, like, bro, he was like, people was mad when we signed the Dorrough, but shit, Dorrough did great business, and he helped us, our career, tremendously. You know what I'm saying? So, shit, shout out to you. Now, bro, Dallas is one of them cities where I feel like a lot of people here, they get trapped in a certain mindset. And I feel like, me personally, that it holds the city back.
Yeah.
Like, I know you dealt with a lot of, you know, controversial stuff in the city. Like, how did you get through it? Like, when people, you know, coming at you, tearing you down, saying, you know, certain things that they say. Like, how did you maneuver through it? Like, how did you stay focused?
Yeah. Shit, I was just so active, bro. Like, you know, I kind of anticipated, because I always knew it's the love. When you get the love, the hate coming after that. You know, for me, you know, I knew my work ethic. You feel me? So I knew my work ethic. So when people started coming with that, I was like, ain't nobody outworking me. Yeah. 1, 2, I didn't feel like there was nobody as hard as me, talent wise. You get what I'm saying? And then 3, I knew that shit. Like, I came from the mud. Like, I didn't have no assistance. I didn't have no machine. So I know I put the time, I put the effort in, and I put my own bread behind. I put all my own energy into it. So the hate didn't really bother me, because, you know, I think hate bother you when you know you cut corners, or like the shit that they're mad about is valid. People were really just mad at me for being on, and people was mad because everybody felt like I was supposed to put motherfuckers on, which I put my own people on, my own niggas on, my own homies on. You know what I'm saying? We was doing how we was doing and moving, and then Young Nation came, this and that, and I put a lot of people behind the scenes on that's still moving to this day. But even that wasn't even my job, bro. I was 21, 22 years old, like that. You know, it's like right now, it'll be like if somebody expected Big X the Plug to be putting niggas on. Nah, Big X the Plug need to be doing what he doing.
Yeah, he got to sit on his back
put
too.
on for a keep.
For sure.
Niggas, so it'll be, that's how it was for me. So the motion he having right now and the moment he in, niggas was expecting me at that moment to be putting niggas on, and I wasn't even on. You get what I'm saying? I was still introducing myself to the world. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
People was looking at Dallas. Yeah, I had Dallas on lock. You feel me? People knew me in the state of Texas, but outside the state, people were still discovering me. That shit take a long time before you fully get out there.
Through.
So
no,
my
sure.
mindset, especially being that young, was like, shit, I got to keep putting myself on. I got to keep working. Yeah. And anytime, you know, and this for artists that's in the city, like, the best thing you can do for the city is to put on for the city. You ain't, yeah, you can get in position, especially if your desire is to grab and do that. But the city get on by the more people put on. That's why I done mentioned it a few times. I like Big X the Plug. I ain't even met him yet. Well, we talked a little bit on social media.
Yeah.
But I like that he putting on. I like that fact that he putting on for Texas, literally. You know what I'm saying? You'll be surprised, like, when you think about it, most artists, when you think about from the last 10 years, a lot of artists that come out, for whatever reason, I don't know why niggas do this, especially being from Texas and being from Dallas, when we actually got culture and a whole lot of shit that's really real that the world love, niggas don't grab the culture that much. Niggas barely talk about where they from. They do what's ever hot. So whatever's popping in Atlanta or Memphis or Chicago, that's what niggas been doing. And they'll be from Texas or from Dallas, a place that got real culture. See, some of these motherfuckers, if you in Oklahoma, and shout out to people from Oklahoma, say you one of these cities that don't really got culture like that the world know of, then it's kind of understandable why artists coming out gravitate to something else that's hot because they don't really got nothing to pull from.
Right.
But we always hit that here in Dallas and in Texas as a whole. So I never could understand why artists was coming out not doing that. And every time an artist did rep, them the ones that made it. Every time. Even when you're talking about a Mo3 who rep North Dallas, you know what I'm saying? You're talking about Yella and Trap, they from the Cliff. Like, when you talk about the niggas who really make noise, we rep the city and we rep it. Like Big X the Plug, to me, is the newest nigga out the city that's making a real splash, and he repping Texas. He repping Dallas. He got an identity. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. Because that Texas is that's gonna be around for a long time. I'll be telling people.
But see, niggas gotta know, like, the whole point of it being people before you is for you to pull off that. Right. That's what every other city, that's what Atlanta did. They had so much shit, bro. Like, Atlanta been going up like this because they just pulled from their own culture. New York, Cali, you know what I'm saying? Every place that, you know what I'm saying? The niggas who really make noises, bro, when you really think about it, pull from their own culture or they create it, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's like even a nigga like Drake make people be aware of a place like Toronto. Yeah. Nobody even knew nothing about Toronto, but when you think of all the bigger artists, you talking about the Jay-Z or you talking about the YGs in LA and the Snoop, just all the bigger artists, they're pulling from their culture. You know what I'm talking about? And we actually had it in Texas. So a lot of motherfuckers wasn't doing this. So shout out to that. And that's what I was doing at the same time. I was just putting on, you know. So to answer that question, I was never really bothered by the hate. I had too much shit in front of me to focus on. Nah, for sure. You know, and that was really it.
Have you ever did any work with Trap, Yellow, or Mo3?
Yeah. Me and Trap did a record. We shot a video. We had shot half of it out here in Dallas, half out in LA. We had got introduced to Crabtree, shout out to Crabtree, Michael Crabtree. Okay. You know, so we had did a record, put it out. Me and 3 did Why My Face So Fresh. We got that. We never put out a video, but that's out, and I got like 2 records with 3 that I ain't released yet. Yeah, okay. You know what I'm saying? Man, 3 was locked in. You know, 3 was the first Dallas artist ever to like come and embrace me on some shit like, nigga, like, I fuck with you and I want, like, I want to fuck with you, like, on some like that type energy. No Dallas artist had ever done that. Damn. And this was like in 2014, 2015, before he became the 3 he became. Right. And then right then and there, you know, we locked in. I introduced him to studios, got him over there at Legacy, started recording over there. You know what I'm saying? His outside verse he did over there at Legacy. He moved around, linked him with Jeffa there. You know what I'm saying? Like I basically everything I could see that he was missing, I was linking them. I was like, boom. 3 pulled up on me all the time, like just randomly. You know what I'm saying? We always chopped it up. You know what I'm saying? So he was like the homie that a lot of people didn't even know. You know, so me and 3 was locked in for sure.
For sure. 3 was definitely a real, genuine person, bro. A lot of people don't know that.
Nigga, bro.
Funny, bro.
That nigga used to have me rolling.
Like one of the last conversations I had with him, bro, he was like, "Man, make sure you tell the world I'm a real nigga." And I was like, "Damn, bro, like what you talking about?" I'm like, "You like nigga, you better tell the world I'm a real nigga."
3 would. I like 3, bro. He'll pull up on you for real and nigga everywhere. Like I used to see 3 randomly, nigga. We seen each other out of town a few times in Vegas and shit. Like I used to see 3 moving. 3 move like how I moved. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So we always caught each other. You know what I'm saying? And just cross paths. You know what I'm saying? So like I always fuck with 3.
Oh, for sure, man. Now you got a new project on the way. Tell us about it. Star Baby.
Yeah, Star Baby. Star Baby, man. July 7th. Star Baby is everything we were just talking about with the Texas shit. You feel me? So Star Baby, the whole point of this album was for the energy, to push the energy to remind motherfuckers like, nigga, this where we from. We from Dallas, we from Texas. Nigga, we got our own sound, we got our own energy, we got our own style, we got our own everything. So Star Baby is an embodiment of that. You feel me? The sound. Every song on there is on Star Baby is either it's all Texas sounding. Every producer is from Texas. Every producer is from Dallas or Houston. You know, half of it produced by Diddy. Shout out to Diddy.
Going crazy, going digital.
Diddy going crazy. He produced half the album. Q Smith got a record on there. Too Much did a few on there. Mr. E did a couple on there. You know what I'm saying? All the features from Texas. Shout out to Paul Wall, Sauce Walker. Who else on there? Tom Tom, Young Nation. Zero, Lil Flip, you know what I'm saying? So when I mention these names, you get the feel of what Star Baby is. You know, I'm about to go crazy with a whole lot of music and a whole lot of shit that's different from what Star Baby is. So I felt it was necessary to come get a city and come get a state that first. You know what I'm saying? So Star Baby is that shit that when you combine the energy of when you had the Houston movement going and the Dallas boogie movement and the city movement like that, when you combine them energies together, that's what Star Baby is. It's that sound, it's that feel, it's the freestyling off the desk. You know what I'm talking about? Beating off the desk. You know, it's that feel. You know what I'm talking about? It's the screwed and chopped hooks. You know what I'm talking about? It's the Texas punchlines. You know what I'm saying? It's the authentic Texas. That's what it really is. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So, but it's worldwide. You feel me? It ain't just for Texas. It's what everybody else love from Texas. When you go to Cali, this is what they want to hear. When you go to New York, this is what they want to hear. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Star Baby is that for sure.
That's what they want to hear from Texas for sure. Now, I got a lot of questions, bro. I'm sorry.
You good, bro.
Got a lot of questions, bro. I want to know like how influential the Bay was, like going to the Bay.
Yeah.
How influential that was for your career, because I feel like the Bay is one of them places that is super heavy on the independent artist route. You know what I'm saying? And they got their own culture. It's like a lot of people don't know about the Bay. Like it's one of them places. So like how did that influence you?
It's crazy you just said that, because the Bay to Cali is equivalent to what Dallas is to Texas. And Houston and LA is more similar to what they are to their states. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But Dallas, it's just like the Bay got its own world. It's different from LA, but it's still Cali and it's connected. Matter of fact, a lot of the LA sound is really the Bay sound.
Facts.
Especially when you hear the LA, the beats and the DJ Mustard and all that stuff. Like that's more like Bay Area Cali. You know what I'm talking about? So it's like but they connected. So I look at it like Bay Area, what it is to Cali is to Dallas. The Bay was everything to me, you feel me? That's where I really blew up at. I blew up in the Bay. When you start about mainstream success, you know, so I was already known in Texas and regionally I was doing shows, but that's what blew Ice Cream Paint Job up.
The Bay.
The Bay, yeah, you know, it was a MySpace story. I was already popping on this, and a DJ from the Bay Area took that song and blew that shit up. And I had never been to Cali. That song was #1 in Cali. I had never been there. And I knew it was real when I started getting booked shows out there. You know, one time I got booked for a show. Me and my brothers and my homies, we took a van out there, an old school van. We drove from Dallas to Cali.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? 26-hour drive, nonstop. We were switching drivers, eating and stuff. Only to eat and get gas.
Yeah.
Drove straight out there. to do one show in Oakland. When I did that one show in Oakland, I was in Cali for maybe a month straight after that because I kept getting booked all through Cali. You know what I'm saying? Because in my mind, I was just like, this one show gonna be good enough. From Texas, they paying me to do a show in Cali. I ain't never been. Fuck it, this just for to be an adventure. We just for to go. If we would did that one show and it went how it went, which it was turned, and came back, I'd have been cool. But I went out there, one promoter, that I just kept getting booked all through the state, Fresno, all the way down to LA, Sacramento. I just kept getting booked out of Cali, and I stayed out there. And I just remember it was becoming surreal. So that's when I became like, that's when it became mainstream at that point. Cause I was like, and that's when viral wasn't a thing, but I had realized I had went viral through MySpace, but it wasn't a word called viral.
Right.
So I wasn't understanding how everybody knew me when I was out there and knew my, cause I had one of the top MySpaces of all time. You hit Soulja Boy, it was somebody else, and then it was me that was like doing them type of numbers on there.
Yeah.
So they knew who you were from that, but the word viral didn't exist yet. So when I was out there, I was like, damn, how the fuck everybody know me by face and how they know, the music like that? And we was getting introduced to that, so I was all through Cali, and that's when the mainstream shit happened, and that sparked from the Bay Area, Oakland and San Francisco. So the Bay, definitely was heavy on to what I ended up doing and who I became. Even to this day, man, I go out there and do shows, like you say, to the independent thing. They really fuck with independent artists, and they got their own little route. They tuned in, they tapped in. So if you popping out here in Texas on some underground shit, they gonna know about you. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
So
I gotta go to the Bay, man. My partner keep telling me like, you gotta
like
get
they'll
out
know
there.
about this platform and you and shit. Like you'll be surprised, bro. Like that's what I noticed about people from the Bay. They be tapped in, just like people from Dallas is. Dallas
Tapped in
always
everywhere.
tapped into everything else. It's the same type of thing. Like niggas, we always know about somebody who coming out of Memphis before they mainstream, or coming out of wherever the fuck they coming out of before they mainstream in Dallas. We always have known that over the years because we be tapped in like that. That's how the Bay is.
For sure. Now, bro, you got your own day coming up in July.
Yeah.
Like when was that officially a thing, and like how that feel to have your own day in your city?
Yeah, the road day, man. Nah, that's so that happened, man. That happened in 2019, I want to say. Or was it 2018? One of them. But anyway, I got locked in with the city. They recognized me for a lot of stuff that I was doing at the time. I've always been a person, bro, like, I guess it's a gift and a curse. I was never the type of person that take cameras with me when I would do shit for people around the city. You know what I'm saying? Like, even to this day, because I just never felt like, I just never could really do that. You know what I'm saying? But the people who I've always done stuff with and done stuff for, I always, appreciated the stuff. And there was a lot of stuff I'd have done within the city. The city recognized that, along with the music stuff and putting on for it, that, they awarded me, the day for. And we actually yet to do the official event, The official event would actually, the first one is actually going to be 2024, which is next year.
Okay.
Yeah. After the pandemic happened, I went back and moved to Cali. I stayed out there and did some stuff, came back, and it's a certain way that I want to put that day together. Yeah. But the recognition, bro, just getting that from the city meant everything to me,
For sure, man. Keep us in the loop. I definitely want to be a part of the
for sure. Yeah,
2024 Dorrough Day.
Yeah, we're going to put that together, and I'm going to definitely make sure y'all a part of it, for sure.
For sure. Now, bro, man, like I say, you a legend, bro. Like, you definitely did some groundbreaking stuff. Like, you got you the creative director of the Cowboys.
Yeah, brand ambassador.
Ambassador, creating the jerseys, the gear, and also the Mavericks now too.
Yeah. We just locked in with the Mavericks, man. This past season, and we doing this season. This season is when it's going to really go up for the Mavs. So,
hey, is LeBron coming to?
He need to go ahead and come, man. Spend them last couple years over here in Dallas.
He might as well. Turn the city up one time.
Him, Luka, and Kyrie will do some damage. But if I'm being realistic, I doubt that happen.
Yeah.
But he definitely welcome. You know what I'm saying? For sure.
For sure.
But man, the future with the Mavs, bro. Like, I'm really excited about it, just cause I'm a ball player. I was a hooper first. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really tapped into that world naturally, but when I see players like Kyrie, I like Kyrie for a lot of different reasons. I like Kyrie as a person, and I love him as a basketball player. He's one of my favorite basketball players because he played a game that I loved. You feel the way he played? I was a point guard. We probably about the same height. He might be a little taller. Even though he looks short on the court, that motherfucker ain't short.
Yeah, they be big, man. Players be big.
But nah, his style of game was the style of game I fell in love with. You feel me? That, you know what I'm saying? That type of point guard game. So, you know, him coming to Dallas meant a lot. Like, I can't wait to get my Kyrie jersey, a Dallas jersey. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully, bro, you know, he signed that long-term contract, which I think he is. It just make all the sense in the world. So, you know, we can walk around with them Dallas Kyrie Irving jerseys, you know what I'm saying? So I'm excited about that, but I'm also excited about
Dorrough, by the way.
Huh?
I said designed by Dorrough, by the way.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna do the city editions. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm gonna do the city editions. But shout out to Mark Cuban though, bro. He you know, he always fuck with me, man. He had never been in a music video. He had got in my Get Big video. When we shot the Get Big video, he hopped in and we been locked in ever since. But this the first time we ever did something official as far as, you know, an actual situation. And I did the anthem for him last year, which is gonna be the anthem for him this year. I did my first halftime performance in November, this past November with him. And the love was just crazy. So now we finna take everything to the next level as far as the designs and merch and, you know, the performances and just really enhancing it. I'm excited about it because, like I say, I'm a basketball player first. So to even just be in that world, you know, being around it, and then we got players like Kyrie, some of my favorite players, and Luka and shit. Like, I like where it's going. Even though we didn't go to the playoffs and we should have went there, but I understand the bigger picture. You know how we for the rebuild and what them two pieces right there and what you can build around that. Like you talking about a potential 3-4 year run into them finals. You get what I'm saying? You build, we get a couple of pieces, which I know we're gonna get. You talking about something crazy right here in the city of Dallas.
Real talk, bro. In Dallas, we got a history of winning.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So it's only a matter of time. Man, I just want to commend you, bro, because like that's not regular rapper. We don't really. It is rappers out here doing it, but we got a rapper from the city of Dallas that's out here making like presidential moves, bro. Like, congratulations.
When you asked me about like earlier about like what been happening since, you know, stuff been in the light or not, a lot of that was that too. You know, putting the Cowboys. I've been putting that situation together since like 2013. It took a minute for it to get to where it is now and where it's about to be because it's no blueprint for it. You feel me? Like, I had to figure out that blueprint myself. You know, so it wasn't nothing you can just go do and tap in where it's like it had to be created and that take time, you know. So, you know, just a lot of behind the scenes work, but it's also really, I think for me, what I always work for me is just naturally putting on for the city. Like, that's just who I naturally am, you know, putting on for Dallas. Like, my real initials is Triple D. All my, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've been putting on forever, like coming. So it's like they gravitated because I was introduced to the Cowboys through a fan that worked in an organization that was tired of getting country music for anthems. And they was like, we need to get Dorrough, man. Like, let him come do an anthem. And that's how I was introduced to it. So that let me know that, okay, that everything that I was putting in paid off in a sense because that was big to me just for them to approach me like that. I was excited about that. I'm like, okay, like they see the other side. You know what I'm talking about? They see that. So that part is what gave me that fulfillment, and then we just been building it up ever since.
No, for sure, man. Shit. Salute. Now, one more question, man. I'm gonna let you get out of here. Do you still have a bail bondsman? Like, do you still do that?
Nah, that was nah, I never had a bail bondsman.
Okay.
Nah, what it was I forgot who the dude who owned it. He was tapped in he was tapped in with my lawyer at the time, my entertainment lawyer.
Okay.
And you know, it was a bag, but it was also a black business. It was a black situation. And, you know what I'm saying? It was just
I thought you owned it. I'm like, damn, my boy bailing people out of jail.
Nah, we was getting money from the situation for sure.
Yeah.
But it was really me, you know, doing some stuff with my entertainment lawyer and the dude who was connected with him at the time. And at that time, I was doing a lot of stuff for all the black businesses in Dallas. I still do support them. But like, you know, we shot a commercial and motherfuckers thought I owned the bail bonds, but nah. You know,
good promo, great promo.
Yeah, it was cool though. You know, they showed a lot of love. It was a good little bag, and it was fun at the time. So, yeah, that's what that was.
Nah, for sure, man. Now, tell the people where they can follow and find you. If somebody want to book you today, get up with you for a verse. How did they do that? And you know, looking forward to hearing from you.
Yeah, man. When it comes to social media, the main platform that I fuck with is Instagram and Twitter. Okay. You know, I don't really fuck with Facebook like that. Instagram, Twitter, Dorrough Music. on Twitter, 63 on Instagram, or you put Dorrough Music on both, they're gonna pull up. Verses, you really kind of just gotta holler at me at a certain time. You know, I do them hoes every now and then, and I stop. Book at DorroughMusic.com. That's probably how you can shoot that. You know what I'm saying? It's really about if I like the music and if I like the artist, then you know we get something else. Most time when I do verses, it be from people I meet in person. Okay. So, you know, when I see who I see, and I like what I like. You feel me? If it's something I'm fucking with, then yeah, we can rock for sure. For sure.
And I said that was my last question. I lied. One more.
Nah, you good.
What made you want to come do an interview on my platform, bro?
Yeah, I've been saying your stuff for a minute. You know what I'm saying? I'm the type of person where like when it comes to doing interviews in general, like I ain't gonna do an interview just cause I can do an interview. Like I'm gonna come when it makes sense for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like I know 1, I'm about to put out music. For 2, I ain't came to this platform. For 3, I ain't really been in the. When I'm in the city, like I'm more on some family tip shit. You know, getting stuff done behind the scenes, recording type stuff. I ain't really been out and about like that. So now that, you know, I'm back in the city and a lot of my fans been putting me a lot of pressure to actually do a lot of these interviews and start getting out here too. Damn. But no, I've been hearing about your platform for a minute, and I respect anybody who put in work, because you can't have a platform that move or anybody even know about if you ain't putting in some type of work. You get on somebody, and anybody who putting in work in the city, man, if it's any way that, you know, I can help them and they can help me, then it's like, why not, you know? But, you know, I respect anybody who doing it. So I respect y'all for sure.
Love, man. I appreciate it, man. And we out.
100.